Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm excited. I have 2 weeks left on Okinawa Island and then I'm going home to my family. It's only been 2 years. I'm out, can't leave fast enough, but it is what it is. If you're a military person listening in, you know the deal, you know how it is, all right? But in the meantime, let's get rich. Now, today I want to talk about dividends versus Social Security, okay? What's the better long-term plan? You already know the answer. You might not know how to get there. All right, so before I start, there's a book down there in the link. Go ahead and grab it, read the whole thing. It's 50 pages-ish. Read it, get to understand what dividends are. They're life-changing. Now we're going into inflationary period or recession, and my dividends are really helping my wife out. Not that we need them, but it's good to have that extra income, so you don't feel the squeeze, you don't feel the pinch, right? If you have extra $80 sitting on the side that you can use for gas or whatever the case may be, hey, it's just nice to have an extra $1,000 sitting around. Okay, so dividends versus Social Security. The first thing we want to talk about is the fixed income trap. This is what happens to most people as they retire. A fixed income means that somebody's giving you a check and your lifestyle is based on that check. Okay? There's a difference between a budget and a fixed income. Okay? So if I'm making $10,000 a month, but I live on $3,000, I have $7,000 to reinvest. If I'm getting $3,000 from Social Security and I'm living off $3,000, I have no room for error. So when my gas spikes double the price, now I'm feeling the crunch. We do not want to put ourselves in these situations. Okay, these are very dangerous, especially now. There's no control. We don't know when the recession is going to hit, when inflation is going to calm down. We have no idea. Food. So we want to make sure our income increases every single year. Every single year. Okay? Now, should you rely on Social Security? You already know the answer. I am 41 years old. I am not relying on Social Security. Social Security was never the answer. It was a supplement to your retirement. It was not the retirement. Okay? So, do not rely on Social Security. If you're 55 plus, 50 plus, I got it. It is what it is, but you still have time. Okay? You still have time to build a little portfolio, even if it's $500 a month. Okay, and I'll get to why it's important to have those extra dividends in there. Okay, so do not rely on Social Security. If you do not know how to build a retirement plan based on dividends as a start, then I have all the resources you need, right? Just if you click on the article, scroll to the bottom, I have almost 1,000 articles now. And you just got to, I hate to say it, but hey, you just got to just wander around in there, all right? Grab the book. The book has another 800 links inside of the book. Keep following it until you figure out a rudimentary plan to turn your earned income, right? You can invest $500 every month and turn that into slowly $4 or $5 a month into passive income. Then eventually you'll get to $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, and it'll start doing the work for itself. Okay. Now, should you rely on Social Security? No. Now, how does Social Security look when you're living on it? Not good. All right. So if you don't know, me and my wife made a lot of money by renting rooms. All right. That was how we got ourselves out of debt. Renting rooms. It's the fastest, most efficient way to safely gather resources and claw yourself out of debt. Okay. But a lot of our roommates were struggling. Okay. They had $900 Social Security check. All right. They're renting a room for $500. Does that sound fun? All right. And they got years left to live. Does that sound fun? It's not fun at all. Okay. They are 100% dependent on the government and somebody else because they could not live their lifestyle by themselves. Okay. So if you're planning on getting, right now my Social Security payment is estimated at like $3,000 a month. But that's me making over $100,000, which I am now, for until I'm 66. Does that sound even, think about it. I'm 41. They want me to retire at 66. So for 25 more years, I'm going to make $2.5 million and they're going to toss me $3,000 a month. Right? As they eat away, they're probably going to eat away how much of that from taxes? Okay? So that doesn't even sound like a good plan. And that's best case. They might, by the time they get to me, it might be, I got to be 75 to take Social Security. Or they might cut my benefits in half at 66. All right, I am not dependent on this money. By the time I get Social Security, if it comes around, I'm reinvesting or giving to my grandkids' accounts. All right, now do not depend on it. It does not, when you see it in person and somebody's depending on the third to get their check to live, it's not the way you want to do it. You want checks coming in almost every day. You want your dividend checks coming in. Okay, now, why are dividends amazing? Okay, they increase over time. And they increase in a couple ways. First of all, say I'm getting $1,000 a month right now. And I might spend, I bought a video game yesterday. So let's say I spent $50 on a video game. And I reinvest the other $950. All right, that next month, I'm getting more money. Okay, and I'm continuing to cycle, right? Anything I don't use, I reinvest. So that's going to slowly build up my assets. All right, so my assets are buying more assets. All right, that's how you become super rich, right? That's how you do it, right? This takes time. Okay, also the dividend companies, my McDonald's, Johnson & Johnson, my real estate investment trust, they're also increasing their dividends. So they might pay $5 a year this year, but they might pay $5.25 next year. And you're like, oh, it's only a quarter. Okay. But again, over time, so then if that was say that was a 5% raise, right? So 550, whatever it is. I say it was a 5% raise. But the next time they do a 5% raise, it's 5% of 525. All right, so you do that over 30 years, and before you know it, the dividend's $10, $15, $20. Okay, so you can look back at the chart and see where McDonald's started with their dividends, where they're at now. Okay, so you want to get on that hype train now. All right, so you're buying more dividends, the company's paying more dividends, right? Your stock prices are going up. Okay, so you might be able to leverage that. Maybe there's a company that's really high. You might be able to trim off the top, put that into more higher yielding products. Okay, so your assets are producing more assets. Okay, and so when you turn 66 and you started at 40, now you have this big set of assets that are continually growing. Okay, even your Social Security comes in. Okay, you might get your $3,000 Social Security check and say, hey, I'm gonna live off of this, but you have $5,000 on the side that you're not touching, and you can save for your vacation or whatever you want to do, right? Hey, dividends this year or this month are going to do our vacation. We're going to go visit the grandkids. We're going to do that. It could be your luxury money. All right. Now, inflation. Okay, we can't predict inflation. We can't predict inflation. So you want to have something that's not tied to inflationary matters, okay? So you want something that you have that you're not dependent on the government to give you a 8% Social Security raise on January 1st. And that's your only pay raise. Okay, so this is 2022, July. Okay, so Social Security got like a 9% raise in January. But inflation since this first half a year went crazy. It's probably been up 15-20%. All right, so you're already behind. Now you're waiting another 6 months to be even still behind. All right, do not live your life on a fixed income. All right, we have to think outside the box and start knocking this stuff out now, okay? Now, right now I'm making $1,000 a month. Me and my wife, $1,000 a month in dividends, okay? If I didn't add to my portfolio, I'm 41 years old, okay? If I didn't add to my portfolio, but I reinvested, I'm assuming a 9% return. I'm assuming 9% because my yield's already high. It's like 6% overall. But as the companies raise their dividends, right, that's another 2, 3, 4, 5% as well over the years, okay? So those combined will probably give me at least 9%, okay? Now, if I did that till age 66 and I didn't reinvest a penny, I'm going to be having, I should have roughly $8,000 a month in dividend income. Okay? And you say, well, Josh, that doesn't seem realistic. Okay. Now, this is July 2022, like I just said. So let's flash forward, or flash back to July 2019, 3 years ago. Okay? I have $1,000 a month today. 3 years ago, I just pulled up my spreadsheet. 3 years ago, how much money did I have in dividends? Yes. You guessed it. 56 cents. So July 2019 was my second month doing dividends. 56 cents. Okay? That's a lot more than 8 times over all these years. Okay, so that's a lot more than 8 times. 56 cents to $1,000. Now again, I was adding, right? I was adding money in, but that's the power of compounding. When you look at compounding, you have to look at year on year. That's really the only way to look at it. You can look month on month and everything else, but when you look year on year, it's ridiculous. Okay? So, again, start now. Start small. Grab my book. There's also a YouTube video, right? You see in my list. My first dividend stocks. Okay, my first 5 dividend stocks. That's a good place to start. Get the Stash app. Disinvest. $100 a month. Watch them grow. Watch them pay you your 25 cents, 30 cents, $1. Okay, I was ecstatic when I got my first $1. Then I got my first $1 of monthly income. Then I got my first dividend that was $1. Okay. Now I got dividends coming in at, I think my highest one so far has been $67. Okay. Eventually it'll be $100. Then I'll have multiple $100. Then there'll be $1,000 dividend. Okay. These things take time, but you have to trust the process. Okay. Do you trust yourself more than the U.S. government? That's the question, right? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Okay. So there's a lot going on in the world that we can't control. There's a lot happening in the world that we can control. You can control your spending. If you're in debt, read my series, Staying Out of Debt in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Okay, stay out of debt. Debt is what's preventing you from getting ahead. All right, I see a lot of people going on vacations and doing all this stuff this summer. If you want to, have fun. Okay? But if your finances aren't right, they're not going to get better. We do not know what's going to happen in the world. You can postpone those vacations, take that money, throw it into the down stock market, and next year, potentially the following year, you're going to have 5 vacations. Right? You could take that $5,000 and put it in some of the most beaten down stocks in 20, 30 years. This is the worst stock market since 1970, the first half of the year. Okay? So you throw $5,000 in, a couple years from now, you're sitting pretty on dividends and capital gains. All right? Or do you really want to go on vacation? This is the time to sacrifice. Yes, I'm not flashy. I'm going to go home. I'm going to drive a Ford. Right? But in the end, when it's all said and done, the money, I'm going to be sitting, chilling, and the money's going to be coming in. I'm not even going to know what to do with it. Right? So, but it starts here. It starts at self-discipline now. Focus, focus, focus. All right? If you don't have the money to invest, you have to start creating something. All content creation is literally doing homework. And most people don't like to do homework. That's all I'm doing. I read books, I write my book reviews, and I write articles. That's it. So it's just homework I'm assigning to myself. But if you could do it with your discipline, then you'll make a lot of money. I sold 50 books last month, right? Without advertising. Okay? So it can be done. And each month you do it, it grows, right? It compounds the same as dividends. So if you don't have money, that's not an excuse. Go create. Creates for free. You create for free. You don't have to pay for a website now. You can just put all your stuff on Facebook group. Okay? So there's no excuses, right? If you want the life, the retirement, the life of your dreams, start now. Take it seriously. I take it very seriously, right? I'm just not a fun person, probably, right? But my goal, my focus is make sure my wife's taken care of, make sure my kids are taken care of, make sure that their kids are taken care of. We don't know what the future holds. I don't know. I can't say for certain that when my kids have kids, they're not going to have some kind of illness, right? Or something else, some kind of handicapped. And do I want to sit there while I have my job working, can't support? Or do I want to be like, hey, here's a house, son. Grab in. Hey, homeschool. Here's a tutor. Right? So he can go off, do his thing, and worry, and the family's taken care of, right? But that starts today, right? So if you're struggling now, somebody didn't think about your future. So do you want to pass that legacy on, or do you want to change it right now? This is the time. Okay? And you're 35, 40, 45, you have to start thinking about your children. What can you leave them besides debt and excuses? And I don't know, ignorance. Or do you want to say, hey son, you're making $1,000 a month, put $200 a month into the stock market. Here's why. Hey, here's a real estate. Jump in the house, rent it to your buddies, right? You can live for free and gain income while everybody else is paying. So I choose to have success. It's a daily choice. I wake up to be better than yesterday. Okay? So, again, dividends, grab the book, read it, take life seriously. If you want to have fun, if you want to, in your 40s, you will see more people trying to have fun than anything in the world, right? You think it's like that when you're 18. No, it's even worse when you're 40, right? Everybody's having fun. That's fine. Okay? But I could postpone that for a little while and have unlimited fun with unlimited money at 50. And I got fun doing it from 40 to 50 anyway. But to be secure, and you're just not making yourself secure, you're making your family secure, generations secure. Okay? So take it seriously, grab the book, and I will see you next time. Thank you.